This story tells you about a big surprise in the world. The country North Korea is helping the country Russia. This help is important because Russia is fighting a war in Ukraine. North Korea is sending a lot of military help to Russia. Many people did not think North Korea and Russia would work together like this. For some time, their friendship was not strong. But the war in Ukraine started in early 2022. After that, Russia and North Korea began to talk and meet more often. Their leaders started to become friends again. Now, North Korea is sending many weapons to Russia. There are reports that say North Korea has sent millions of bullets and shells. These are used for big guns called artillery. They have also sent powerful rockets called ballistic missiles. These missiles can hit cities far away. Some information also says that North Korea sent tanks and other army cars and even soldiers to help Russia. This military help goes to Russia and is used in Ukraine. It gives the Russian army more power to fight. Some experts say that without North Korea's help, Russia would have much fewer weapons to fire. Sending these weapons breaks rules that many countries around the world agreed on. This story will explain how this special friendship and help started. It will look at the long history of Russia and North Korea. They have been friends since the time of the Soviet Union, but sometimes they had problems. We will see how the war in Ukraine brought them much closer again. The story will tell you exactly what kind of weapons and things North Korea sends. We will also show you how people found out about this. Pictures taken from satellites high in space show ships and trains moving between the two countries. When weapons are found in Ukraine, sometimes they have special marks that show they came from North Korea. Important officials from different countries have also said this is happening. Then, we will explain why North Korea helps Russia and why Russia wants North Korea's help. North Korea needs money, oil, and technology for its own country. Russia needs weapons for the war and wants friends who do not agree with countries like the United States and Europe. Finally, we will think about what happens next because of this help. The war in Ukraine might continue longer. It can also make other parts of the world, like Asia, less safe. This help from North Korea to Russia is a big event that changes many things. It is a serious problem for the world. 2. Old friends, new help. Russia and North Korea have a long history together as friends. This friendship began many years ago during the time of the Soviet Union. Over these many years, their relationship was not always steady. Sometimes the friendship was very strong and close, like family members helping each other. Other times it became weaker, and they did not agree on everything. In the 2000s and 2010s, there were times when Russia joined other countries in making international rules for North Korea. These rules were often about stopping North Korea from building certain types of powerful weapons or rockets. For instance, in the year 2010, Russia made a rule for itself to stop buying any weapons from North Korea. This shows that during that period, Russia was following international agreements, even if it made the friendship with North Korea less close. However, during these same years, Russia also did things that helped North Korea. One very important example was in the years from 2012 to 2014. North Korea owed Russia a very large amount of money from many years in the past. It was a debt from the Soviet era. Russia decided that North Korea did not have to pay back most of this money. They forgave about 90% of the debt, which was around $10 billion. This big help showed goodwill and made the two countries friendlier again for a period. The leaders, like President Putin and Kim Jong-un, also met sometimes during these years to talk and keep lines of communication open. After 2014, the relationship became a little cooler again for a few years. North Korea continued to test rockets and nuclear devices, which led to more international rules against it. Russia sometimes supported these new rules. The situation changed greatly in early 2022. Russia began fighting a war in Ukraine. This event had a big effect on Russia's place in the world. Many countries did not agree with Russia's actions and put rules against Russia. At the same time, North Korea also faced many rules from the world because of its weapons programs. Both countries felt they were facing pressure from the West. This feeling of being alone and facing similar problems brought Russia and North Korea much closer together again. The war in Ukraine created a strong reason for them to become very good friends and help each other. They started to talk much more often at high levels. Leaders and top officials visited each other. In the year 2023, for example, a main person from Russia's military visited North Korea. Later that year, North Korea's leader, Kim Jong-un, went to Russia to meet with President Putin. These important meetings showed that they were ready to make their friendship very strong again and work together in new ways. This is how the idea of North Korea giving help to Russia became real. 3. Working together. After the earlier connections became strong, leaders started meeting more. In July 2023, Russia's Defense Minister Sergei Shoigu visited North Korea. He saw North Korea's new weapons, including missiles banned by world rules. This visit was a clear sign they needed to talk about military help quickly. Then, in September 2023, North Korea's leader, Kim Jong-un, traveled to Russia. He went to Russia's Far East to meet President Putin. This was their second meeting. They signed agreements about military cooperation. They talked about sending weapons, doing army practice together, and even Russia helping North Korea with its space program. Kim Jong-un called this agreement a strong alliance, making their countries closer. He even visited a place where Russia sends rockets into space with President Putin. A very important event happened in June 2024. President Putin made a big visit to Pyongyang, North Korea's capital. It was the first time a Russian leader visited since 2000. During this visit, Putin and Kim signed a major new treaty. It is called the Comprehensive Strategic Partnership Treaty. This treaty is very important. It says that if one country is attacked, the other country must give immediate military assistance. This treaty started working right away. North Korea's official news said this treaty made their military cooperation very strong. Both countries often said they were strong together. North Korea's news agency, KCNA, said their friendship was like family. They celebrated being united. After Russia said North Korean soldiers were fighting in a place called Kursk in April 2025, KCNA said this showed the highest strategic level of militant friendship. Kim Jong-un also spoke about defending a brother nation, meaning Russia. Both governments said they were working together to be strong against other countries and to protect their own power. The cooperation included sending soldiers. By April 2025, North Korea officially said it sent thousands of troops to help Russia. These soldiers went to the front lines in the Kursk region. Reports from other countries said there could be many thousands of North Korean soldiers fighting there, maybe 11,000 to 14,000. Kim Jong-un called these soldiers heroes. This step showed how closely they were working together on the ground. In return, Russia also sent military equipment back, like air defense systems and other technology. 4. What North Korea sends. North Korea began to help Russia in a big way. They sent many military things. This help started in 2023 and continued into 2025. A lot of equipment went from North Korea to Russia. One of the main things North Korea sent was bullets and shells for big guns. These are called artillery. Very many shells were sent. Some reports say millions of shells and rockets went to Russia. These shells are used by Russian soldiers in Ukraine. Without these shells, Russia's big guns would be much quieter. North Korea also sent powerful rockets. These are like big missiles that can fly a long way. Experts found pieces of these rockets in Ukraine. They know they came from North Korea. Dozens of these rockets have been sent. Some reports say over 100 powerful missiles were given to Russia. These can cause big problems for towns and cities. More than just shells and rockets went. North Korea sent other army things. They sent large rocket launchers and different types of big guns. They also sent army cars like armored vehicles. These cars protect soldiers when they move. Smaller guns for soldiers were sent too. Rifles and other weapons for fighting close up were part of the help. Ammunition for these small guns was also sent, like bullets and grenades. But the help was not only weapons. North Korea also sent soldiers. Reports say thousands of North Korean soldiers went to Russia. Some estimates are between 11,000 and 14,000 soldiers. They went to help fight alongside Russian troops in some areas. Many countries and world groups say these actions are wrong. There are world rules that say North Korea should not sell weapons to other countries. Sending soldiers to fight in another country's war also breaks important international rules. So North Korea sent many different military items to Russia. Millions of shells, many powerful rockets, big guns, army cars, small guns, and even thousands of soldiers. This big help changes things and breaks world rules. 5. How we know. It was hard to know at first. Russia and North Korea tried to keep their help a secret. But many people around the world watched and looked for signs. One main way we learned was through pictures from space. Special satellites took photos high above the Earth. These pictures showed Russian cargo ships. They were in ports in North Korea. The photos clearly showed the ships loading many large boxes called containers. Experts who look at space pictures counted these boxes. There were thousands of them. Some reports said maybe more than 20,000 containers moved over time. The pictures also showed the ships sailing to Russia. Then, trains were seen in Russia, carrying the same kind of containers. These trains went towards the areas in Ukraine where the war is happening. This was a strong sign that weapons were being sent. Another important way we knew was from the war itself in Ukraine. Soldiers found parts of broken weapons after attacks. Experts looked at these parts very carefully. They found special marks. These were things like numbers, codes, or writing in Korean. For example, pieces of rockets had stamps that showed they were made in North Korea. One broken missile had a number and a date mark from North Korea. This proved that weapons used by Russia came from there. People found other evidence too, like pieces of shells for big guns or parts of smaller weapons like grenades. They all had signs they were made in North Korea. Sometimes secret information was shared with news reporters. These were like private papers or reports that showed what was really happening. For instance, notes from Russian soldiers showed they were using shells from North Korea. Papers from Ukraine listed the train routes that carried weapons. News reporters used all these clues, space pictures, broken weapon parts, and secret papers to tell the story. They helped people around the world understand this secret help. So, we learned that North Korea was sending many weapons to Russia, like lots of shells for big guns and even missiles. Reports also said armored cars and smaller guns were sent. We also learned North Korea even sent soldiers to help Russia fight. This was a big surprise. But what did North Korea get from Russia? It was not just one-way help. Russia sent things back to North Korea too. Russia sent oil. This is like fuel. Over 1 million barrels of oil were sent. This helped North Korea a lot because other countries do not sell them oil easily. Russia also shared technology, ideas and knowledge, like how to make rockets better. They might have sent machines to help North Korea stop air attacks. One report mentioned a special air defense system called Pantsir-S-1 was sent. This trade of weapons for oil and technology is how the countries help each other. It showed they were working together closely. So, using pictures from space, evidence from the battlefield, secret papers that came out, and the work of news reporters, the world found out. This is how we know about the weapons going to Russia and the help going back to North Korea. 6. A timeline of events. The friendship between Russia and North Korea has a long history. In 2010, Russia stopped buying weapons from North Korea. Later, in 2012, Russia helped North Korea a lot by forgiving almost all the money North Korea owed from long ago. Leaders met sometimes. President Putin and Kim Jong-un met for the first time in 2019. They said they wanted stronger ties. Things changed quickly when the war in Ukraine started in February 2022. North Korea quickly showed support for Russia. This made the two countries much closer. In May 2022, Russia and China together stopped a plan at the United Nations that would have put more rules on North Korea. Important visits happened in 2023. In July, Russia's main army leader went to North Korea. He saw some of North Korea's strongest weapons. Then, in September, Kim Jong-un went to Russia to meet President Putin. At this meeting, they agreed to work more closely together on military things. Soon after these meetings, signs of help appeared. In October 2023, The United States said North Korea was sending weapons to Russia. Both countries said this was not true. But in January 2024, parts of North Korean missiles were found in Ukraine after Russian attacks. This showed that North Korean weapons were being used in the war. The friendship became official in June 2024. President Putin made a big visit to North Korea. He and Kim Jong-un signed a new and important paper called a treaty. This treaty said that if one country was attacked, the other would help right away with military support. This agreement started working in December 2024. Help continued to flow into 2025. Reports and satellite pictures showed ships and trains moving many supplies from North Korea to Russia. In April 2025, North Korea said publicly for the first time that its soldiers were fighting for Russia. A large report in May 2025 shared more information. It said that over 20,000 shipping containers had moved from North Korea to Russia with army goods. It also said many millions of bullets and many missiles were sent. The world is carefully watching this growing support. 7. Why they help each other. Why do these two countries help each other so much? Each one has strong reasons. First, let's look at why North Korea helps Russia. North Korea needs many things. It needs money and fuel like oil very badly. Many countries have put limits on North Korea's trade. It is hard for North Korea to buy and sell things. Selling weapons to Russia is a way for North Korea to get money. Russia also sends oil to North Korea. This oil is needed for North Korea's economy and army. It is like a payment for the help. Russia has sent over 1 million barrels of oil to North Korea. This helps North Korea when other countries do not trade with it. North Korea also wants to be safe and strong. It feels danger from some big countries. The new agreement with Russia is important for this. It says they will help each other if one is attacked. This makes North Korea feel safer. Also, Russia can give North Korea new ideas and technology for its army. This helps North Korea build better missiles and other weapons faster. They get help with things like satellite technology and how to make missiles fly better. Being close to Russia helps North Korea feel more secure and become stronger in its army. Both countries also have similar ideas about the world. They do not like some big countries, especially the United States and its friends in Europe. They think these countries try to control others. By helping each other, North Korea and Russia show that they can work together against this. They want a world where different countries have power, not just one or two. Now, why does Russia help North Korea? Russia needs weapons for the war it is fighting. The fighting uses a lot of bullets, shells for big guns, and missiles every day. Russia needs more weapons than it can make quickly. Many countries have stopped selling weapons to Russia. North Korea has many weapons, even older ones, and it can make more. Russia buys these weapons from North Korea. This helps the Russian army keep fighting. Without North Korea's help, Russia would not have enough weapons. Russia also wants to show it has friends. Many countries are against Russia because of the war. Russia wants to show that it is not alone. North Korea is a friend that is ready to help openly. This shows the world that Russia has support, even from countries that are not part of the West. It helps Russia promote its idea of a different world, one without one main power. So they help each other because they need things the other can give. North Korea needs money, oil, safety, and technology. Russia needs weapons, manpower, and friends. They have common goals and common disagreements with other countries. Their shared problems make them work together. 8. What happens next? The help from North Korea means the fighting in Ukraine can continue strongly for Russia. Russia is getting a very large amount of weapons from North Korea. Reports say millions of bullets and rockets and many missiles have been sent. This means Russia has more power to attack places in Ukraine. It makes the war very difficult and dangerous for Ukraine's soldiers and cities. But the effects are felt in many places, not just in Ukraine. Countries in Asia are worried. Japan and South Korea live near North Korea. They see North Korea getting closer to Russia and worry about their own safety in their region. In Europe, countries are also worried. They see North Korean soldiers fighting in Europe, which is something new and strange. Many people feel that the problems in Europe and Asia are now connected more than ever before. Important world rules are being broken by these actions. The United Nations has rules for all countries. These rules stop North Korea from selling weapons to other countries. But North Korea is sending many ships and trains full of weapons to Russia. This makes people worry that these world rules are not strong enough to stop countries from doing dangerous things around the world. Countries around the world are reacting in different ways to this. The United States and countries like the United Kingdom, Japan, and South Korea say this help is wrong. They say it breaks UN rules and makes the war worse for Ukraine. They are working together to stop the weapons from moving. Countries in Europe, like France and Germany, are also worried and talk about how to respond to this problem. South Korea calls North Korea's actions a serious danger to peace in their region. Ukraine says the North Korean weapons hurt their people and make the war last longer. In return for the weapons, Russia is giving North Korea things like oil and maybe technology. Russia and North Korea have a different idea about their actions. They say they are just working together as friends to protect themselves. Russia says other countries should not tell them who they can be friends with. North Korea says it is helping a country that is like a brother nation. They both say they are strong together against other big countries in the world and want a new world order. This situation creates a new, very serious problem for everyone around the world. It means the war in Ukraine might go on for a longer time. It makes worries bigger in both Asia and Europe. It shows that some countries do not follow important world rules. This makes the future of peace around the world feel less certain for many people. What do you think the world should do about this problem next?
Hey there! Just a second before you go. If you learned something new today, please give this video a like, write your thoughts in the comments, and subscribe to the channel. It only takes a second, and it really, really helps to create even better English videos for you. Your support means the world. Thank you.